Hello, everyone. Before I sing a song today, let me remind you and maybe myself why I am singing and recording these songs. So, one reason, as I pointed out, uh, I think yesterday, is simply because to ensure that I do not forget these songs. I have already forgotten quite a few of them. So, here's an attempt on my part to reteach these songs to myself or to relearn them. The other reason is this: those of you who may be listening to my B16 and C10 lectures, you will often hear me saying things like this. This is not just an idea, but this is an idea which is very densely interwoven into the living, flourishing tapestries of Hindu devotional art, literature, music, theater, architecture, and so on. Now, of course, in a lecture room situation, it's very difficult to convey a sense of that that to convey the real world sense of that statement. So one of the reasons being, as I said yesterday, that here's an opportunity for me to show you more concretely how these ideas they appear in music. Now, today I will sing a song by Rabindranath Tagore that illustrates and enacts one of the most polyvalent terms in theological Hinduism, which is lila. Now, as it so happens, in the study of religious traditions such as Christianity, Islam, and others, getting the translation right is key to understanding a concept. And yet, often we cannot find a precise word in English which would encompass the semantic range of the word that we are working with in a language other than English. So here, lila is in one sense play, but it is not play in the sense of a flippant or frivolous or mindless activity. Think of lila, this creative play, as a structured activity that we spontaneously engage in for the sheer delight that we may obtain from this activity. In other words, lila is the paradox of a surplus. It is a paradox of a structured spontaneity. So why do I say structured spontaneity? Because this is a spontaneous creativity that emerges from deep structure, and it is a deep structure that informs this spontaneous creativity. Think of a poet writing in English who has so completely internalized and perfected and mastered the syntactical rules that it is no longer the case that she speaks English. Rather, it is the case that English speaks her. And this is why she can so creatively rework the rules of this language game. And that would be the human perfection of Leela. Now, in the song, I'll show you the translation shortly. We encounter the analogy of God's Leela, this God's creative play, God's structured spontaneity, in terms of God's singing. As to the question, the most famous question possibly of all in theology and philosophy of religion, if not the most famous, one of the famous ones. As to the question, why did God create the world? Why God created the world? The answer, at least according to this song, seems to be that creation is God's spontaneously delightful process of sounding notes through the world and inviting us to participate in this process of resounding and sounding notes through the world. So here is a translation. Um, let's see. There you go. How perfectly you sing, oh accomplished artist. Astounded I am, I simply listen. The light of your melodies pervades the world. The breezes of your notes dart across the skies. The splintered stones speed restlessly, flowing away in a stream of melodies. I struggle to sing in your style. Alas, I cannot find those notes. What I wish to say I cannot. Defeated, my heart cries out. You weave a web of notes all around me. What snares you have lured me into. So I shall play the notes for you, and then once again, I shall try to go quite high up in the octave this time. Let's see how much of these tones, notes rather, I can still reach. তুমি কেমন করে গান করো হে গুণী, আমি অবাক হয়ে শুনি, কেবল শুনি তুমি কেমন করে গান করো হে গুণী, আমি অবাক হয়ে শুনি, কেবল শুনি তুমি কেমন করে গান করো হে গুণী। সুরের আলো ভুবন ফেলেছে, সুরের হাওয়া চলে গগন বেয়ে, আশান্তুতে ব্যাকুল বেগে ধেয়ে বহিয়া যায় সুরের সুরধ্বনি, তুমি কেমন করে গান করো হে গুণী, আমি অবাক হয়ে শুনি, কেবল শুনি তুমি কেমন করে গান করো হে গুণী। মনে করি অমনি সুরে গাই, কণ্ঠে আমার সুর খুঁজে না পাই, মনে করি অমনি সুরে গাই, কণ্ঠে আমার সুর খুঁজে না পাই, কইতে কি চাই কইতে কথা বাঁধে, হার মেনে যে পরাণ আমার কাঁদে, আমায় তুমি ফেলেছো কোন ফাঁদে, চৌদিকে মোর সুরের সুর ঘুরে জানো গুনি তুমি কেমন করে গান করো হে গুনি আমি অবাক হয়ে শুনি কেবল শুনি তুমি কেমন করে গান করো হে গুনি